I have 3 daughters, yes, and I sure don't want to see them over in the Army somewhere.
Women were made to be the man's helper, not to go out and do just as much as they do.
I think equal rights is really human rights. I think it's basic civil rights, and I see it also for men as well as for women.
Arguments for and against the Equal Rights Amendment have been resounding in the Illinois State House, where lobbyists and demonstrators tried to sway legislators this week. Opponents of the ERA carried bread to symbolize domesticity, as they urged a no vote on the amendment, which was expected to come up before the state Senate. The rally was held by a group called Stop ERA, which contends that the amendment would mean a military draft and combat duty for women in wartime, the disruption of family life, the loss of financial support from husbands, and of protection against strenuous or dangerous jobs. And they say ERA would lead to unregulated abortions, homosexual marriages, and sexually integrated prisons. Some fundamentalist ministers and their followers were there.
We feel that if this becomes law, then we would be in violation of the law because we do not recognize women ministers or women as elders or deacons.
Phyllis Schlafly has been barnstorming the country as national chairman of Stop ERA.
If the Equal Rights Amendment is ratified, people will then realize it's quite a fraud. It won't do anything at all for women, but it will take away rights that women now have.
The chief sponsor of the ERA bill, State Senator Esther Saperstein, says it's a myth that the amendment would take away a woman's right to stay at home.
Well, there's nothing in ERA that will take away from the woman the right to make her own decision about what kind of life she wants to lead.
ERA supporters, saying that legislators are fed up with demonstrations, are stressing telephone and letter writing campaigns and strategy sessions at which volunteers are urged to put across pro-ERA arguments to legislators and the public. Illinois is one of a half-dozen states targeted for an intense campaign as ERA forces push for the final 4 states needed for ratification. Their major points are that the government already has the power to draft women if it chooses, that the ERA would not affect personal and family relationships or laws involving privacy, that it would simply help to eliminate discrimination in employment and other areas like credit and property ownership. And they contend that protection against hard or hazardous work should go to anyone who needs it, male or female. ERA sponsors believe they have the votes to ratify the amendment, but there is a legal dispute in Illinois over whether a 3/5 majority or a simple majority is needed for passage. At week's end, volunteer lobbyists on both sides were still in the State House, trying to change legislators' minds.
It'll help women, I think.
Oh, we're all against it. We know it won't do anything good for us. We want
as things stand today, women are not getting equality all over.
But all the ERA activity was in the corridors. The expected vote never came. Sponsors of the Equal Rights Amendment in the Illinois Senate decided to postpone a vote until the legislature reconvenes next month because not all their supporters were present this week, and they know it's going to be so close they'll need every vote they can get.